Hey, quick experiment. Smell the nearest thing, not the ethical, high minded aroma of some self help book, the actual nearest thing. A coffee mug, a hoodie. Now hold that smell for 2 seconds and tell me, honestly, did your brain just slide sideways into yesterday like it has little tracks laid down for it or something? If it did, congratulations, you've been hijacked by nostalgia. Now, don't panic. Nostalgia is basically the brain's favorite hobby. Replaying highlight reels, rewinding to where the soundtrack was louder and the lighting was better. Today, we're going to go heavy on nostalgia. Why one whiff, one song, or one burnt toast can pull your mind into a mood that feels like equal parts joy and trapdoor. And why that's not just poetic nonsense, it's biology. It's psychology, social glue, baby, motivation fuel, and yes, occasionally a scam your brain runs on you. Thanks, brain. All right, succulents, buckle up, baby. This is planting thoughts, so expect a few sharp edges, some sarcasm, and an argument that being obsessed with the past might actually be an evolutionary smart move. Mostly. You know what I'm talking about, succulents. The universal pull of the past. Hooking you with the scent, hooking you with the song, hooking you with a taste. We've all been there, right? We've all been there. A song starts, and suddenly you're 12 again. The sneakers, the bad haircut, the way the crush looked at you like you were a rare Pokemon card, or you bite into something, right? And your whole childhood kitchen appears behind your eyes, complete with fluorescent lighting and Aunt Karen lecturing about college. Thanks, Aunt Karen. I made it. That jump isn't a glitch, right? It's nostalgia doing its job, not just making you feel sentimental, but transporting you into a version of your life that your brain thinks is important. And it does this with ridiculous efficiency, right? A smell, a sound, a tiny stimuli can plant you back into a scene with color, texture, chemistry. I mean, that's the hook. Nostalgia is immediate, intense, and it's weirdly persuasive. But beyond the wistful meme captions and Spotify playlists labeled throwback vibes, nostalgia is a fundamental brain function. It's not just a feeling you scroll for, it's a mechanism, right? And your mind uses this to stabilize your identity, regulate your mood, and link past to your future. And understanding it isn't just trivia for brunch conversation, right? It's a toolkit for emotional health, relationships, and motivation. It's your brain's time machine, man. All right, let's talk the different parts, right? Think of your brain like a crew running a claustrophobic, overbooked train station. Three major players make nostalgia feel like a first class sleeper compartment. The hippocampus, right? This is like your archivist, right? The filmmaker, right? The hippocampus helps you encode those crisp, scene like memories because we know the hippocampus is tied in with, formation of memory. When an event is rich in detail, right? The smell of rain on warm pavement. You know what I'm talking about. The exact tone of a friend's laugh. You know what I'm talking about. The hippocampus stitches those sensory details into a coherent episode. It's what lets you mentally travel back in time to a specific moment instead of just trying to remembering facts like, I had a dog, I had a cat, right? I ate a sandwich for lunch, right? The amygdala, this is your emotional sort of highlighter, right? So the amygdala tags memories with emotional weight. So the hippocampus sort of records it, right? The amygdala puts some weight on it. Happy, scary, embarrassing, right? The amygdala writes the color coding right on the file. And that's why a mildly pleasant song can feel like a tidal wave if it's attached to a powerful feeling, right? Hooked on a feeling. People with stronger emotional tagging tend to have more vivid, affect laden memories. And then you've got dopamine and the reward circuitry. Nostalgia's sad little addiction. Nostalgia isn't just recall, it feels rewarding. right? Your dopamine lights up when we revisit memories that gave us comfort, meaning, connection, socially, right? That brain treats nostalgic recollection like a small, reliable hit, familiar, warm, and predictably pleasant. Now, that's why sometimes people prefer a safe, curated memory over the chaos of the present. Now, nostalgia has got a hidden superpower, and it's really useful, right? So let's stop treating nostalgia like an indulgent throwback playlist for a second and start treating it like the slightly judgmental life coach that we all need. Here's what nostalgia actually does when it's working for you, right? Not against you. Number one, it counteracts loneliness and anxiety. I mean, nostalgia can be a buffer. When people are lonely, revisiting memories of close others, right? Meaningful moments that you had, and it softens that ache you're going through, right? It's like temporarily inviting your people back into the room, even those people that might have left you. Studies have shown nostalgia reduces feelings of social isolation. It increases perceived social support. In other words, when the present feels cold, the past is cozy, baby, and it has cookies. Eat up. Number two, it strengthens social bonds. Shared nostalgia is like social glue. Reminiscing with someone, I mean, even about banal things, right? This creates cultural shorthand. I mean, inside jokes, remember when moments, right? Those made up mythologies you and your friends build. It signals belonging. I mean, group nostalgia for shared experience builds trust and identity. Think of campfire stories, old team bragging rights, rehashing that ridiculous road trip. I mean, those stories make groups, baby, and they make those groups fun, and they make those memories fun. Number three, nostalgia fuels future goals. Now, this one's counterintuitive. Looking back actually helps you move forward? Who knew? Nostalgic reflection often restores meaning and optimism to your life. When you remember overcoming something, right, even if it's framed gloriously, it reminds you that you can do hard stuff. Nostalgia can bolster your self continuity, the sense that you're the same person over time, right? And this supports things we talked about earlier, like identity, coherent goal pursuit, right? The past becomes proof that you're resilient, you're creative, you're lovable. And this can motivate future actions. Unfortunately, there is a dark side to nostalgia, right? Nostalgia can become problematic for you. It is useful, yes. But no, it's not all roses in elevator music. Like any tool, it can be misused, weaponized, or just plain overused. The rose tinted glasses effect? I mean, look, memory isn't a security camera, it's a highlight reel edited by your emotional editor. Nostalgia tends to idolize. The brain emphasizes the positive and downplays the negative. That one girl who treated you like crap, you just kept remembering all the good times. That romanticized past can set up unrealistic expectations. Your high school sweetheart wasn't perfect. Your first apartment wasn't charming. It was gross. And no, your childhood pets didn't speak in prophetic tones. They were just dogs and cats. They probably smelled, pooped on the floor, and wanted to sleep with you all night. Now, the problem is that idealization can mess with present satisfaction. If the past looks like a better life highlight reel and the present looks like raw footage, right? And we're on the B roll up in this piece, you start grading reality poorly. And then you've got escapism versus engagement, right? Nostalgia can be a healthy refuge until it becomes an exit strategy. If longing for the good old days is your primary coping mechanism, you risk withdrawing from present relationships and responsibilities. And that's a problem, my guys. Come on. There's a difference between glancing at old photos for a mood lift and living in a perpetual fantasy loop, right? Where you miss opportunities because you're so busy mourning a past that was never as perfect as you remember anyway, my guys. Come on. You know it wasn't as good as you thought. The grass is always green on the other side. And then there's the risk of rumination, right? Here's the clinical angle. Rumination is repetitive, negative thinking about the past, right? That's not nostalgia. Rumination is a stuck record, for instance, right? I mean, nostalgia tends to be bittersweet, but often includes positive meaning, right? Rumination is pure nastiness. Pure nastiness. I mean, it's what keeps you up at 3 a.m. If your past replaying includes guilt, regret, or shame on loop, I mean, it can feed depression and anxiety rather than soothe them. So you need to use nostalgia, baby, but don't let it use you. You know what I'm talking about. Now, how do you harness your brain's craving for the past? What are some practical tools you can use? Because here at Planning Thoughts, we're always trying to give you some practical advice to make your life better, right? This stuff is powerful and it's kind of dangerous, to be honest. So, what do you actually do with this information? Well, here are some clear practical moves to tilt nostalgia growth in your favor, right? And away from stagnation, because that can happen. Number one, the mindful memory activation, right? Short practice. Step one, you choose a memory intentionally. Don't randomly doom scroll. Pick one specific memory, a celebration, a moment when you felt competent, a conquest, connection, whatever. Step two, you use sensory re-entry. What did it smell like? What sounds were present? Name those details aloud or in a note. And then step three, ask for meaning, not mood. What did that memory teach you? What strengths did you display? How did that version of you act? Step four is the anchor, right? You want to anchor a future action. Pick one tiny thing that channels that strength into tomorrow. Example, I was brave asking for help then. Today, I'll ask for feedback from one person. This is nostalgia with a purpose. It's informing you. It's making you better. It's giving you things to sort of anchor your current life, even if it is in the past, a little bit. You also can create future nostalgia. If nostalgia is powerful because it gives meaning and social connection, why not engineer memory worthy experiences now? In other words, be deliberate about making future you grateful. Live in the moment, my guys. Nostalgia is beautiful when you're living now. That way you can remember those beautiful times later, baby. Now, how do you do this, right? You make rituals, small, repeatable acts that become memory friendly. Late night walks, Sunday dinners, a yearly adventure ritual, date nights. Although I'm not big on date nights. Record with restraint. Photos can help, but too many can reduce the memory's richness. Choose a few meaningful captures instead of flooding everything. Let your memory do the work. Once you've done all that, tell the story while it's happening, right? Narrate the value of the moment, saying, "This is a good one." While it's still warm, it increases the chance it becomes a positive future memory, right? I mean, if you're sitting there talking about how crappy of a day you had, chances are you're going to remember a crappy day. Mood congruent memory. Now, number three is the balance. Nostalgia is a tool, not a crutch. Set strict usage. Nostalgia for comfort, meaning, and motivation. If a memory habit increases avoidance, shame, or paralysis, it's time to pivot. If it helps you feel connected, resilient, purposeful, keep it. And look, here's a step-by-step guide for figuring out what you want to be. Use nostalgia as data. Your past preferences are clues, not change. Step one, memory inventory, 30 minutes with coffee. Write 8 to 12 vivid memories where you felt alive, useful, proud, or deeply connected, right? Keep them specific, not stuff like I liked art, but I spent 2 days painting murals in the school cafeteria and lost track of time. That's a great memory. Step two, pattern mining, 15 minutes. Group those memories together, clump them up, right? What repeats? What was helping? What was creating? What was teaching? What was leading, right? Notice the skills and the values embedded in these stories. Number three, emotional signature, 10 minutes. For every memory, rate the dominant emotion: joy, pride, flow, connection, curiosity. Which emotions appear most? Step 4, skill match, right? List the concrete skills in those memories: writing, repairing, negotiating, organizing, right? Do you have evidence of those skills now? If not, are you willing to test them now? You should. Step 5, small little experiments. And we want to keep these ongoing, right? You pick 3 little micro experiments. You know I love my experiments, baby. 2 to 8 hours each, right? Examples: teach a class. I don't know. Create one portfolio piece, right? Volunteer on a project. Go plant a tree. Treat them like data collection, right? Not destiny. And then step 6, you want to reflect and iterate. And you want to do this weekly for maybe, I don't know, 30 minutes. So after each experiment, ask, did it evoke the same positive memory feelings? Did it align with the emotional signature? If yes, double down. If not, recalibrate. This method converts nostalgia to empirical evidence. Your memory becomes a map, not a mausoleum. Now, here are some examples that you can use in conversation, for instance, right? So let's do a group nostalgia exercise, right? Maybe you have people share a short specific memory together, maybe from their adolescence, right? And then you name one value it revealed, right? Notice how quickly group cohesion builds. I mean, nostalgia, right? This helps to connect people. Now, there's also discussion, right? I mean, are manufactured nostalgic experiences like retro branding, reunion tours, are these manipulative or are they meaningful? I mean, where's the line between commercial nostalgia and genuine meaning? How about using nostalgia in therapy? I mean, guided nostalgic recall, this can increase meaning and self continuity. But do we really want clinicians reinforcing psychological rumination? It needs to be used in moderation, just like everything else, right? Here's another question: when did you last create a memory that you might miss? If the answer is vague, what does that suggest about how you are intentionally or not intentionally living your life? So here's the takeaway. Because I know you like tidy little endings, even when life absolutely refuses them. Nostalgia is not a liability unless you let it be one, right? It's a brain function, guys. And it edits, it flavors, it packages you in your past into something emotional, right? And useful. So use it. Don't abuse it. Don't get fixated on it. It can comfort you. It can be a glue that helps you connect with others. And it can even nudge you towards future goals. But it can also lie to you. So it can keep you small. And it can trap you in a better than it was fantasy. Stay out of the better than it was fantasies. Use nostalgia. Use nostalgia like a power tool, right? With respect, protective goggles, and a very clear instruction manual. When a scent or a song yanks you backwards, don't just float there, right? Ask, what is this memory telling me about who I am, what I value, and what I want next? Turn soft longing into hard data. Come on, baby. Before we go, one tiny, slightly annoying homework assignment for all you little nerds. Pick one positive memory tonight. The sharper the detail, the better. Spend 5 minutes with it. Ask, what did I do in that moment that I can do again this week? Do that thing. It's low stakes. It's evidence based ish. And if it works, you've just used the past to make your future slightly better. Woohoo, baby! All right, succulents. Although we would love the show to go on for hours, we're done for the day. So go smell something and tell me whether or not your brain moved without your permission. I want to hear the most ridiculous nostalgia trigger you own. Signing off, but not really. Your past is probably coming back to haunt you in the best way. I'm Mike. This has been Planting Thoughts. See you later.